Hi, Leah. Good morning.
Hi, Lynn. Good morning.
Lynn and Leah are at we're both in our respective workstations, although Leah's is a little more glamorous. I think we can change the view, right, to be side by side. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we're here today to talk about students that are graduating in the time of COVID. It's a really big deal. And Leah and I wanted to personally reach out to you in our little video this morning. It's going to be short, but we want to also let you know that we're here to help. And as things are changing every single day, we're on it. And we just like to share the resources we have and look forward to hearing about your experience. Leah and I both have talked about this, and we are in agreement that even though this is a time of uncertainty, it is also a time to be really prepared. And we're calling it a call to action. And this has to do with career and professional development. So this week is going to be an exciting week where we're going to share something every day to our PNCA community and invite you to participate as you can around your other responsibilities. Leah, I just wanted to ask you how it's been for you. You're in a dual role of being a coordinator at BridgeLab, but you're also a full-time student in our graduate program.
Mm-hmm.
What's it been like for you the last few weeks?
Well, I've been trying to give myself a lot of patience and understanding and kind of adjusting my expectations of what productivity looks like, how I spend my time. I will be honest and say last week we found out that my job was only secure through the end of April. And all that day, like, my mind was reeling that that would move up my timeline to having to find new employment when I thought I would have some more time to figure it out and to work on my portfolio and work on my resume and really soul search for what I wanted to do after graduation, because I've been wanting to focus all my time and energy on school right now and just finishing my thesis and preparing for my artist talk and just wrapping up the semester with the best way I can and then switch my focus. So I was in kind of a weird space for a day, and I wasn't productive the rest of the day when I was facing all this uncertainty. But I just let myself have that uncertainty and feel what I was feeling. And the next day I was able to do a bit more of my schoolwork, and I've just been taking it one day at a time and really listening to what my needs are.
That sounds like a really healthy response. One of the things that has been a theme in my appointments with students is a combination of feeling both exhausted and wired. And have you had that experience?
I would say more exhausted for me personally. Um, but it can also be kind of the work I'm doing is a lot of personal reflection and just already like being in this time.
Yeah.
It's just kind of draining on that level, and then doing the work is draining. But I've been getting outside, and that really helps. And I would say this week I'm finally making a bit more, like, it seems like more levels of
Mm-hmm.
the pre-pandemic levels of work. And so I would say for the past couple of weeks,
Well, we may be adjusting a little bit to the virtual environment, which is a strange environment.
it is.
It calls, it's different, calls upon different kind of capacities sometimes to communicate clearly in the virtual environment.
Absolutely.
And
I would say the first week of classes online, I was so drained. I only have 3 classes too, and just being on, looking at the screen for that long and
mhm.
being able to be rejuvenated by seeing people in person was shockingly draining.
Mhm.
And um, I think that's also, I told Lynn that, and that's kind of why we chose this format, so that you didn't have to be on another Zoom call and spend
Mhm.
your time and energy here, and you could engage with this the time of day you want rather than being stuck on a long Zoom call.
That makes me think too that one of the other things I've heard is real grief, or people feel that they're grieving for the way it was. And, you know, PNCA is a very unique community, and it's a very supportive community. But a lot of that support takes place in the classroom and in the atrium and in the hallways. And I think I am really missing our little BridgeLab office and our hideous orange chairs, and you know, the way that we were working all the time in a very collaborative way.
Mhm.
Fortunately, Leah and I adapt pretty well to that, and we've been able to work on a lot of things since we went virtual on the 16th of March. So we've really been doing this 3 weeks. I guess that's a good thing to keep in perspective. The first week was, you know, theoretically spring break, but that was the week that we did our conversion and planning for the rest of the semester.
Mhm.
So
Good stay.
um, one of the things that has been interesting too that I'd like to share is, although most of our employers are in a virtual situation, there's still this notion that they are looking to gather talent for their next project. And so we've actually had employers that we reach out, or employers that we've worked with reach out and say, this is what's happening now. And they've posted some jobs on JobWorks, and they've also just asked me to get the word out about their need for talent coming up. And one specific example is we worked with Leica to develop really cool internships. And just last week, because of the social distancing and the way that their workforce works, they pulled the internships that were planned for summer. But they also let me know that they were definitely going to do internships in the fall. And so that's one thing that students who, you know, are really wanting to work at Leica can have as one of their goals, their action items, is to prepare to be a competitive applicant for those internships that will happen in the fall. I think that's a very realistic goal to have. And so
Absolutely.
that's just one example.
And we were just talking too of kind of taking this opportunity after school, if you don't have a job or an internship lined up, to really take this time to work on your resume and your portfolio. And a lot of like standard graduations, you go from right from school into applying, and you kind of do this as you're going along. But now maybe this is opportunity to really think about your skills and your talents, and to craft and curate who you are as an artist or designer, and be able to articulate that better in an interview in the future.
That's actually going to be part of the week this week, is working on all of those things. Tomorrow, our session is going to be on virtual interviews. And that is one thing that you can practice and get a lot better at quickly. And we'll also share some best practices for answering some of those tough questions that are sort of behavioral in nature. We'll give you some guidance on that. On Wednesday, we're going to do, we usually call it resume rescue. We're going to actually look at fluid resumes. In other words, resumes that need to change up quickly in a changing job market. This is one thing that the recruiters are talking about and we're responding to. Thursday is all about LinkedIn, and as much as we like to moan about LinkedIn, it's going to be an incredibly powerful hiring tool once things open up. So we want to make sure that you'll have the best profile possible. And to make that really great, we're having one of our recruiter friends from 52 Limited present her best LinkedIn tips. So that's going to be great. That's Thursday. And then Friday, we have another recruiter who specializes in creative portfolios. So she's going to talk about the art of creating a great portfolio and give specific tips on that. So these little videos will be available to you whenever you want, and they'll have accompanying PDF files for you to keep and work on. And we'd like you to know that Leah and I are available for individual appointments. We'd love to talk with you about the future, whether it's an internship or how you're going to craft your pitch for your next job. We're here to help. And that's our timer. I think we got to say goodbye, Leah.
Oh, I just wanted to say one more thing.
Okay.
With today's video, we were going to upload graduating in the age of COVID. We found this wonderful resource that kind of also goes through interviews and how to spend this time and just really acknowledges the reality we're in. So we're hoping that our video here combined with that PDF will give you some helpful guidance at this time.
That's perfect.
And,
see you guys. Can't wait to see you online. Bye-bye.
I think it's still recording.